Good. 3, 2, 1.
Right, welcome back. Second episode. I know what you're thinking. It's a lot earlier than we originally planned. It was going to be next Tuesday. Still will be one next Tuesday.
Still will be one.
But the reason why we're doing another bit of a bonus one is because, as most of you will know, I did 2 polls, one on Facebook, one on Instagram, to get some questions in, and we've got a lot of questions to get through. So we're not going to hang around. We're going to talk about the Champions League games and the Europa League games last night, what we predicted. And also there was 2 Premier League games on Tuesday night that we didn't even know was on. But I mean, I didn't watch them, so because there was Champions League games on. So, but yeah, we also want to say thank you for the last video. Good reception, I think.
Better than we both expected.
Yeah, it was quite good. I had quite a few messages as well, actually, saying it was good and I can't wait for the next one. So, I suppose
change your shirts as well, as promised.
Change your shirts. I've gone for the Jers just because of last night's win.
I was going to be vain, but I didn't. Bloody thing. I could have had my back surname, but no, we've gone for the...
Yeah, kept it simple.
We kept it simple.
So I think, we don't know how long this is going to be because we have got some really good questions. We're going to go through, hang about, because we are going to go through everyone's questions. So the question will come up at some point. I think we've got to jump straight into it because otherwise this is going to be like
a very long episode.
This is going to be a very long episode. We have changed the camera and we have got this mic as well. We're hoping it's a bit better than the last one. Don't see why it wouldn't be. As long as that keeps recording in front of us, it should be fine. So I think straight into it, mate.
Straight in, mate. You're the one with the notes today.
I have got all the notes. So I've done a lot of notes actually. I've done a lot, well, not a lot of research, I've done a bit of all sorts. But I mean, first thing I've got here is the 2 Premier League games. Everton won.
I can't even remember the score.
Yeah,
3-1 City.
City won 3-1. I mean, we'll talk, next week's episode we'll talk about Prem game, like the Prem games from this weekend and stuff. But I mean, City
just steamrolling, haven't they?
Done the business again. And then you got Burnley Fulham. It was 1-1.
1-1. I remember that.
1-1. Not going to go over them too much. Just you probably saw the scores anyway, but there you have it. So on to the Champions League games from that night. Barcelona PSG. I did say slate me, and no one has, to be fair. No one's got the bollocks to. But
who said that PSG would piss it?
I said Barcelona. He said PSG. It was always going to be the Mbappe or Messi show, weren't it, really?
It was.
And Mbappe took the piss, to be fair.
As I said to you, mate, I was watching it, and as soon as PSG went 3-1 up, that's it, I turned it off and went to bed because I was like, that's over.
Done and dusted. Mbappe's third goal. You didn't see the third goal, did you?
I saw the third goal. Oh, no,
his third goal.
No, I didn't see his third goal.
His third goal was, it's beautiful. And then down here, I've also got it's a bit of a weird one. Moise Kean.
Yeah.
It's gone unnoticed that he's now gone from Everton to PSG. Didn't obviously make it at Everton.
But he's on loan, isn't he?
Yeah, but it's still a weird loan, isn't it, really? And I thought he played quite well.
He did play really well.
I thought he played well on
from what I watched.
And scored.
Yeah.
He scored a header, wasn't it? He headed it down, didn't he? Yeah. And then also got written down here is with Pochettino in charge, they could win it. I
don't really. With PSG, it's the same as City. There's no reason why anyone in charge couldn't win it. The money they've got to buy players.
It's money, isn't it? Yeah.
But they just don't do it.
Yeah,
City haven't done it, and PSG.
It's a bit of a PSG thing, isn't it? Really, like they bottled it last season, didn't they? I think it will be PSG Bayern Munich again.
You reckon?
In the final, yeah, I do.
I reckon City might get that,
Or Chelsea.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, well, that's Barca PSG. Kind of covered anyway. Looking forward to the next leg, although I think it probably is done and dusted.
Don't say that.
Not after the last time.
Not after the last time PSG had a big lead against them. I know it was the other way around, they played at home first, but anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and I look forward to the next leg.
So do I.
Leipzig versus the Bin Dippers.
We both got that wrong. We both thought Leipzig.
Leipzig, only because, well, on paper you'd say Leipzig, but I'm pretty sure I did say that Liverpool seemed to turn up in Champions League games.
You probably did, mate.
I think I did, yeah. I mean, down here, it was written down here, it was 2 defensive mistakes, which it was. Also, I think one of them, if not both of them, was from Uppermancano, who's meant to be
the next best
the
thing.
next best thing. I'm
Going
pretty
to
sure
Bayern
Chelsea
Munich.
linked with him. Bayern Munich
He's gone to
linked with
Bayern
him.
Munich. He's
Of
going.
course he has. He's gone, isn't he? Yeah, yeah.
Well,
He's
he's
going in the
going.
summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was Bayern Munich looking at that on a big night in the Champions League, I'd be asking for my money back.
Yeah.
But it was shit. He was shit. And then I've just put a look at, literally got Mane and Salah with this clinical on the two defensive mistakes, and that's what they do. They punish you. So I think that's the leg done. Or maybe I know Anfield's not been this fortress that it apparently is. Absolute
Fortress.
absolute myth. But yeah, I think that might be done and dusted.
Yeah, I think you might be right there, mate.
On to the Wednesday's games. Don't know if you saw anything from the Wednesday's games.
I did. I watched at least the second. I watched a bit of the first half and most of the second half of what I said would be the game of the round.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, it was a good game. Actually, that's the one I watched as well.
And the strikes that we saw.
Yeah, well, before that, Porto Juve, I've got written down.
1-1, wasn't it?
No, it was 2-1 to Porto.
Of course it was.
Porto went 2-0 up, and then I think Juve just got a bit of a consolation goal, but an away goal.
Could be a big goal.
But yeah, consolation, but a big goal as well. And I still think Juve will go through.
I agree.
I still would fancy Juve. Although you don't know, do you? This season's weird. Champions League games are weird. You don't know, do you? And then yeah, Sevilla Dortmund, like we just said. Sevilla went 1-0 up, and
then Haaland showed up.
yeah, then Haaland literally showed up. The Hood.
The Hood.
Is that how you say it? Yeah.
The Hood.
He scored.
The Hood.
Yeah.
The Hood is on fire.
He scored a off. Well,
He scored a screamer.
It was a screamer.
Screamer,
Wasn't it? It
yeah.
was a screamer.
And Haaland's.
And then yeah, just a Haaland show. That lovely move with Sancho. Yeah, just Haaland, I think, and he's linked with Chelsea, isn't he, as well?
Could have played for England.
Could have played for England, but yeah, Sevilla, that a bit like Liverpool, really.
And then they scored at the end, though, didn't they, to make it more interesting at least?
Yeah. Did they?
Yeah, it finished 3-2. I'm sure.
Oh, of course it did. Yeah, yeah, it did. Yeah.
So at least that makes a bit more of a game in the second leg.
Either way, good Champions League game.
Yeah.
Before that was on, it was good. Let's move on because we got some questions to get through. We got to move on.
I don't know actually many of these questions,
No,
just so like they're going to be sprung on me.
I've told him a few little brain teas.
I haven't thought about them until now.
Yeah, they tickle the brain a little bit. Obviously, I've written all my answers and stuff down pretty much, but we're getting on to them.
Before we go into it, I just need to put a point out. Obviously, we missed the Premier League games. We missed actually a very important game that happened on Tuesday night, which most of you will have probably seen now. Is these boys played on Tuesday night away at Ipswich, and the referee went to headbutt Alan Judge.
Yeah,
which I found quite amusing.
He's been suspended for this weekend.
He's been suspended, but even Alan Judge has come out and said, you know, I don't see the point. You know, people make mistakes, but I seen something today actually on social media of Kalina. When he went right up to Thomas Repka. Now, Thomas Repka was was an animal, mate. Kalina just went into him and was like, calm down.
Yeah.
He tried doing that nowadays, which the ref, I can't remember, is it Drisdale, I think it was, didn't even, they say put his head in, I don't really see it, and he's been suspended for it.
I thought it was funny. I think fair play, and I think the fact he's been suspended, I think is bollocks. But I do think fair play.
And shout out to Big John Brady getting a point away at Ipswich.
Yeah, should have.
Every point's a good point.
Who is it? I saw on Twitter and stuff that Ipswich let a lot of people's bets down.
Not surprised.
Yeah, and I think I would have personally put Ipswich as well.
I think I would have.
You would have as well.
Big John Brady, Rico, Samo, up the boys.
Sorry,
carry on.
Moving on. Last night's games. Did you watch a game last night?
I watched 1 and a bit games.
Arsenal.
I watched a bit of that one.
Yeah, who was the one you watched?
Leicester, Slavia.
Oh, of course you did, yeah. So I've got down here, the first one we're going to talk about, well, briefly talk about, is Man United doing over Real Sociedad 4-0.
It was 2-0 early on, I think. I think they was talking
Quick
about it in
goals,
commentary.
I think there's not really much to say there, other than we both said United, and, I mean, if United are going to go through. I fancy, and I don't know what you think, I fancy a Man United versus Leicester final.
I mean, I prefer it if Arsenal there.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I think, as you say, they've got to avoid each other in a draw. That's the problem. If it was like, obviously, we both like darts.
Yeah.
So when you're in the darts World Championships, you can see who you're going to face right up until the final. Whereas with Champions League, Europa League, it's and the FA Cup, which I think is in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's all random each round, so you can't.
Yeah, but United, they've sailed through it now from one leg away from home. Next game, Prague versus Leicester, Slavia Prague. Stalemate.
Quite a good game though.
Was it? I was on
Quite a good game.
Shame Leicester couldn't nick a goal from like an English perspective.
They nearly did in the first half, Harvey Barnes, and then Slavia got an injury quite early on. And it was one of them. It was a weird game. I didn't think it was a boring 0-0. Other people might think otherwise, but I thought both teams actually gave a good account of themselves.
Yeah, so I didn't.
And what I did like actually is Slavia Prague. They had 600 fans in last night, and they had on the camp. So this is the camera side, say where we are, and where that camera is there was where the stand was.
Yeah.
And it had Slavia Prague, and they changed the painting on the seats to fox hunting.
Oh, I did see that. I
thought that was brilliant.
I did see that on Twitter. Yeah. Obviously, it didn't work.
No, obviously, but did it?
Do you fancy them? Well, true.
All they need is a goal over in
the
King Power, and that's it.
Leicester though, do you fancy them?
Yeah, I think
we'll get on to when the second. Well, it's next week, next Thursday. So we'll go over the second legs next week anyway. Wolfsburger versus Spurs.
We did say that both. They'd battle.
Yeah. Bale, goal and an assist. I mean, fair play. It's against a Farmers team, in my opinion.
Tin Pot League.
Tin Pot League, Farmers. Fuck Spurs. So let's move on. Sorry, I'll be biased. Unbiased. Right, and then Benfica Arsenal.
I only watched a bit of that. I didn't even see the goals. I was too tired. I was in bed.
No, see, I was watching the next game we're going to talk about. Not really much to say on Arsenal.
No, I think
away goals.
Away goals the main thing.
Just whether or not you can keep them quiet in the second leg.
Yeah, we did say though the other day that on paper it was quite a tough draw for both sides, not just Arsenal.
And we did say Benfica in Europe always.
They're always there.
They're always there, and they always give a bit. So that's 1-0 anyway. We'll talk about the second leg next week. And then Antwerp versus the Gers. Absolute fucking blinder of a game. Had everything. Penalties.
You messaged me when they scored.
And I messaged you saying, fucking what a game this is. Didn't know if you were watching it or not. But, yeah, just a good game. I mean, I think Morelos, he could have put it 1-0. Obviously, they went 1-0 up Rangers. But Morelos could have made it 1-0. I think it was around like the 25th minute mark. Morelos was 1-on-1. Keeper saved it. But then the keeper, he fucked up. Did you see it? Have you seen any highlights?
I haven't seen any highlights.
The keeper come out to smother the ball and it just like, like a keeper smothers it, don't get hold of it, it comes off of them. And then Joe Rebo, clinical. And then it was just a good game, really enjoyed it. The penalties, there was penalties all round. They had a penalty, weren't a penalty at all. I know you haven't seen it, I don't personally think it was a penalty. And then it was a weird one because going into half time you think Rangers 1-0 up, like happy days, going into half time, and then they went into the break 2-1 down. But they have scored, a little fact, they've scored in every away Europa League game this season. And last night they scored 4 of the fuckers.
It's only 4 games though.
Yeah, but it's Rangers.
Including last night. Yeah, but this is a team that are now pissing their league. Tin Pot League.
Tin Pot League. I know someone that's not going to like that, but it is a bit of a Tin Pot League.
It's a Tin Pot League.
Tin Pot League.
I know you're going to come on to it. It's a Tin Pot League, I'm sorry. There's 2 teams in it. Now, until they started playing this year, there was only 1 team in it for 10 years.
Yeah. But yeah, Rangers teed up nicely. I know it's 4 away goals, but still got to keep them quiet at the Ibrox.
Yeah.
And another thing I wanted to say was Barisic scored both the penalties. Second one was unstoppable, and it was his 100th appearance.
Oh.
So
Congratulations
what a lovely occasion for Barisic. It really was nice. Right.
Got to admit, no idea who you're talking about.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Right, that is Champions League and Europa League games covered.
That's the European Express done.
I would love to speak about it more, but there's a lot of questions. I'll say a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions. Actually, there is a lot of questions. Right, so we're just going to jump straight into the questions. So, if you are still watching, stick about because your question will be answered. So the first question, and it's not about it's nothing to do with football at all. And I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to throw them under the bus. Right, I'm not going to say.
Oh, go on then.
I'm not going to say who it is, and I'm not because I don't want to throw them under the bus. But this particular person knows who they are, and they will tune in at some point, I'm sure. And all it said was, can I suck your dick?
Oh right.
So, yeah, that's what I got. And I did get a few like that. Not all about sucking me dick.
Oh, you got one from me.
I got one from him saying, "Can you send me nudes?" Obviously, I said yes, but I'm yet to send them.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, first question was, "Can I suck your dick?"
I got him. I got a good idea who that is.
Yeah, I think we both have, and I obviously did put absolutely.
Oh, fair enough.
So, right, next question, and this is from. I'll tell you who they're all from. This is from. Well, I got 3, all from Harley.
Harley.
Yeah.
Harley.
Harley.
Right.
She said, and these are kind of serious but not serious. Why are Chelsea so shit?
They're going through transition. Just got a new manager in.
It's fine.
It's going to take time.
Yeah.
Second question.
Why is Lingard so sexy? Personally, I don't look at him like that.
No.
I don't think he's that sexy.
He's got potential though.
His debut for West Ham.
Yeah.
We haven't spoken about.
What a
Good
performance.
And the other one is, why are Man United the best team in the world?
They're not. As it stands, they're second in this country to Man City.
They're not the best team in the world.
And if they drop any more points, then Leicester could go ahead of them, and they'd be the 3rd best team currently in this country. So,
yeah, let alone the world. But yeah, cheers for your questions, Harley. Appreciate it. This is from my dad.
Paul Batten.
Personal favourite of mine. This is, why are Spurs so shit? Followed by up the Chelsea.
I thought we were going to have some serious questions.
No, there is some coming up. There's some serious questions coming up, but these I'm getting the 3 like piss takey ones out of the way.
Spurs.
I mean, that's like a proper Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
Doesn't like Tottenham.
Spurs just need a defence really. They've got the strike force.
Yeah, and they are shit, but I'm unbiased. So
moving on.
Right. This is from Ben, my old partner, my old work partner. He said, "Can we predict the top 4 in order? So 1 to 4. Who's going to go down, and team of the season so far, as well as has the lack of supporters affected things?" So we'll start from number 1. Can we predict the top 4?
Man City.
Yeah.
Leicester.
That's brave.
Man United.
Yeah.
Ooh, who's going to finish 4th? West Ham. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine is Man City. Leicester.
That's brave.
That is brave. Yeah, but when you it's not that brave when you think about it. It's not that brave when you think about it. Yeah, Man City, Leicester, Chelsea, Liverpool.
You're going to get slated for that.
I'm not going to get slated. Slate me end of the season.
Oh, fair enough.
Slate me. Yeah, that's my top 4, I think.
So top 4.
That's just, I've not even thought about that either. That's what I'm just going for now. What I'm thinking about. Relegation. Sheffield. You probably agree on these.
Yeah.
Sheffield are going down. We spoke about it before. Big Sam. What's he up to? Is he saving West Brom?
Right now, I can't see it.
No. It's West Brom. We think Sheffield, West Brom. And who else do we think is going to go down?
I think Newcastle.
Yeah, you have said that a few times, Newcastle.
I think Fulham are going to pick up results. Scott Parker's going to get them some results, and
I can agree on Newcastle. We'll agree on the same relegation.
I mean, without actually looking at the table, because I haven't looked this week, so I couldn't tell you. I know that you've got Newcastle that are 17th. I can't remember who's 16th and who's 15th, and if they can get dragged into it. But
I'm happy with that 3. Newcastle finishing 3rd from bottom, I think. Then
I'm sorry, Newcastle fans, but that's just the way it is.
Your team of the season so far, and I did ring him earlier because I said I can't just stick a team of the season so far.
I think you could have done because I didn't really think about it.
But I have. Do you want me to go through mine? And this took me ages. I was doing it last night. This took me ages to write down. And there's a few controversial ones, and I've got a few honourable mentions as well. I've got Martinez in goal.
I'd agree.
Right back James Justin. It's questionable. I told you they're questionable. It's my opinion. Diaz and Stones. Because what other centre halves? They're top of the league for a reason.
I know they're top of the league for a reason, but they haven't been together as a partnership for that long.
I don't care.
Oh, fair enough.
Right, I've got Luke Shaw at left back.
I'll agree
Only
to
because Tellez come in.
Do you want me to tell you? I'd swap one of your centre backs out, and you'd like this.
You're going to put Thiago Silva.
I'm going to put Thiago Silva in because I'll openly admit when he signed for Chelsea, I thought he was over the hill.
A lot of people wrote him off before he'd even kicked the ball.
I was like, nah, he should have come here 5 years ago, but he's been brilliant. Thiago Silva's in for one of them centre halves.
Okay, we'll get onto your team.
No, because I'm quite agreeing with yours at the minute.
is that just a cop out?
Yes, massive.
Okay. And then Luke Shaw, just because I think Teller's come in, and he probably was shitting himself a little bit.
Has he even played a game?
No, that's what I'm saying. He's not really, apart from the cup, I think maybe. 4 in midfield. I'm not actually gone for any wingers because there's not really any wingers that stand out. I've gone for Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Foden.
Yeah.
Grealish.
Yeah.
And this one, I really didn't know who to put, but I have put Gundogan. I know it's just recent he's picked up form, but I really couldn't think for the life of me who else played. But obviously I've got a mentions list, and there is 5 or 6 midfielders in the mentions list.
See, I'd go.
I'm not talking about formations. I'm just on about.
I'd go 3 midfielders. I'd go Grealish, Fernandes, and who was the other one you said?
Foden.
No, I wouldn't even say him. Come back, Maddison.
Yes, he's in my list. Then I've got 3 up front, which is not. It's not. I've got 1 winger, but I've got 2 centre forwards. I've got Salah, Kane, and Calvert-Lewin. Because I know Calvert-Lewin recently, but you can't write him off. He's had a good season.
So I'd have 3 strikers. I'd have 3 players down the middle.
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't too sure to add wingers, but I thought, fuck it, it's my team of the season so far.
And I'd have Kane, Vardy, Watkins.
Yeah, Vardy. I Watkins, mate. I'd put Watkins in about 5 times, and I was like, I can't justify putting Watkins in. But this is my mentions list, right? Edison has been good. He's got the most clean sheets.
Yeah,
he's got the most clean sheets. You got to go off stats. He's got the most clean sheets.
But the thing I see about Edison is that it's like, oh, he's got these clean sheets and stuff. It's expected of him. He plays in the best team on paper, and at the minute, currently in the.
But that's
country.
why Martinez is in the team.
Yeah,
not Edison. Then I've got Bamford.
Yeah, he's got to be in there for a shout. He's got to be in there for a shout.
De Bruyne, because he was pulling strings.
Yeah.
And he was doing bits. I have gone for Money Mace.
Oh, yeah, but I can agree to that.
And I nearly put him in the 11, but I thought I don't want to upset a few people. Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
Harvey Barnes.
Yeah.
Madison, because you said you'd have him in yours anyway. And then I did put Ollie Watkins down. And that's my honourable mention.
So my honourable mentions would be Son and Salah.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, James. All the ones that I've agreed to with you, but the ones that you've missed out on, I'd have to say Slabhead. Because he's shored up the defence for me.
He nearly went in.
Who was the other one that I was just thinking of? Tarkowski can't be faulted. I know that they're not flying high, but they get a lot of clean sheets.
Yeah.
And there was one. Oh, Sanchez at Brighton, keeper.
Yeah.
Oh, and before we go, I was right. It was Olsen, that Everton keeper.
Did you have a look into it?
Yeah, I had a look into it.
I was meaning to look at it.
Robin Olsen.
Keep forgetting. And then the last question from Ben was, has the lack of supporters affected things?
Yes.
I'd say massively, to be fair.
The thing with...
Mainly because of the results, the big results there's been as well.
It's home advantage. You don't have that anymore. It's now a level advantage. It's a level playing field.
Well, yeah, you might as well just
home
play
and away.
You might as well go play it on a fucking...
Go and play dog and duck.
Yeah, you might as well just, But no, I'd say massively, yeah. Because the teams can get on your back, not even in like a positive way. If your own team's playing shit, you can get on your team's back.
Imagine, let's use Old Trafford because it's the biggest ground in this country, well, domestic ground apart from Wembley.
Yeah.
You're in front of that Stretford end as a visiting keeper.
Yeah.
You're having a blinder of a game. It's 0-0. It's coming to the 85th minute, and then all of a sudden these fans just start hurling abuse at you.
That's what I'm saying.
Get on their back, and then they make a mistake. United win the game 1-0.
Yeah.
They ain't got that luxury.
I would say so. I would say so.
Massively.
Well, we have to move on because we're 24 minutes in and we've got a lot of questions. Let's just say that we've got a lot of questions here. So we've got to start.
We've got a motor.
We've got to go. This is from my Chelsea mate Jamie, and I quite like this question. So you probably want to. I spoke to you about this earlier as well. Realistic transfer targets for the summer: one defender, one midfielder, one striker. Presuming you're going to do Arsenal, not Northampton Town.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people know the transfer targets for Northampton Town.
So shall I go first?
Go on then.
I'll go first. Defender, and I thought about this all day, and I thought about it yesterday. And there isn't at the minute. Do you know what? And I don't know how realistic it is, but I would, and if we could, sign Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's coming to an end of a contract.
Yeah, he is, but he always does that.
And yeah, of course he is. I mean, that's what they do in Spain. But I would sign Sergio Ramos in defence. Midfielder, the thing is, you're talking realistic. A realistic midfielder you sign. That's what really stumped me. I'll come back to that, but striker is Haaland. And I saw a debate on Twitter, would you have Mbappe or Haaland? And hand on heart, I would have Haaland over Mbappe. I just would. I quite like him, bit shithouse. He's built with pace, bullies defenders, gives defenders shit. That's mine. Midfielder, I'm stumped on the midfielder. But I'll let you do your three whilst I think on a midfielder.
So, defender for Arsenal. We're talking realistically.
Fuck mate, you need 4.
So just for the question, Militao from Real Madrid.
Militao.
Doesn't play a lot for him.
Yeah.
Brought him in from Porto. They didn't play, so I'd get him in.
Yeah.
Midfield. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. I'd probably get that hour from Leon after.
You reckon?
Yeah.
They want you. You are after him.
I'd go for him because he does get forward. And he's not afraid of a tackle as well. But then we had that with Torreira. He weren't so much to getting forward. He weren't afraid of a tackle, but it doesn't fit Arteta's style.
Yeah.
And a realistic striker. Well, I don't really think there is one for Arsenal.
No.
For Arsenal, you're going to have to look a bit more. Pluck one from somewhere, rather because, as you say, if it's realistic, I know Arsenal's got a lot of history, as such. You ain't going to want to go somewhere that ain't going to play in Europe next year because I don't think they will.
No. Midfielder for me. I'm honestly stumped. If I'm thinking about now, and who's in charge of Chelsea, and who did a job for him at PSG, I'd probably say Verratti. Because I really can't think
Paredes.
Paredes, yeah, there's a few for PSG, but I probably would say Verratti, although I would probably prefer Billy Gilmour. So, and also from Jamie.
Do you know that, by the way?
What's that?
N'Golo Kante still can't understand a word Billy Gilmour says.
Yeah, I know. Right.
It's brilliant.
It's good, isn't it? And then also from Jamie was, how fucked up should we get on the next European away trip?
I'm intending on being there, so
yeah. There's a few people actually that have messaged me and spoke to me saying when I do the next European away couple of trips, they want to come with me, just to get on the piss, really.
Well, isn't it for 4 days?
To sum up the question, very fucked, and we should start pre-drinking now.
Fair enough.
So yeah, cheers for your questions. It's from Keelan.
Cheese strip.
Yeah, this is a good question. I don't know how I feel about it. It's a good question. Is Phil Foden in the Mbappe/Haaland convo for the best youngsters in the world?
It's a great question.
It's a really good question. It's a brain tickler.
Well, do you want me to tell you why he wouldn't be, and it also means why he should be? He wouldn't be because when Mbappe burst on the scene in 2017, he's always been in the limelight. First at Monaco and then to PSG.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's always been about Mbappe.
Yeah. Same with Haaland. When he burst on the scene last season at Salzburg, and then Dortmund signed him.
He's always headlines.
He's always
just
been
in the Champions League.
I mean, Phil Foden captained the under-17s teams to the World Cup in 2017.
Exactly. I've got that written down.
And Man City, wrote down that he captained the World Cup. Man City didn't play him for whatever reason. Well, they had David Silva, they had De Bruyne, things like that. And Pep, for the last season and a half, has been slowly integrating him in and integrating him in.
He hasn't stuck him straight in.
Possibly knowing that David Silva was leaving at the end of last season, then he could go, right, this is why you're here now, you've been groomed, you're straight in.
Yeah.
Because now he's what, 21?
Still young, isn't he?
Is he 21? Might even be 20.
I think he's younger than 21, I think.
He might even only be 19.
I think he's young.
But when he burst on the scene, he was young. Like, really young. He was a kid.
But there's it's a weird one. It's a weird one because we're in this country, right, and we talk about Haaland and Mbappe every day. And it's interesting because it sounds stupid, but do people in different countries speak about Phil Foden?
Probably not.
And that's the thing. It's weird. It's a weird one. But I'm gonna stick me bollocks on the line and say yes.
I think he will be the best player in the world.
Foden should be in the conversation with him. Don't see why not. And they're different players.
I think it's
goal scorers.
Do you want me to say no? But I think there's a link between all of them. Is that they're like a progression. So Phil Foden gets the ball from the defence, links up the play, sets up the goals. Mbappe gets the ball from the midfield, sets up the goals, scores the goals. Haaland
buries the goals.
Yeah,
buries goals.
If you put all three of them in the same team,
oh fucking,
you'd win everything.
Yeah, but to sum it up, we're saying he should be in the conversation.
If he's not, he will be.
He will be. Yeah. Cheers for your question. So this is. I've got 3 questions here from 3 different people, all about Bournemouth.
Right.
AFCB, which I did tell him about. There will be a few questions on Bournemouth. You got the first. What was it? Oh yes, you got the question. You got 2 from Tim. It says, "How will Bournemouth get on in the cup?" Obviously, they've beaten Oldham 4-1. They beat Crawley 2-1, both at home, and they turned Burnley over 2-0 away from home, which I did watch the highlights for that game. And obviously they've been drawn to, you would say, the South Coast rivals, that is Southampton, at home.
I'd say,
what are you thinking?
There's no better time to play Southampton than right now.
Exactly. And it depends, and we're going to get on to a certain bloke that's been linked with them. Depends who's in charge as well, I think.
I don't know, no.
I do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, because Bournemouth are hot and cold.
I think they'll be alright. I think, it's probably the best time to play Southampton now.
Yeah.
What are we at, the quarter-final stage?
Yeah.
I think if they win that from the teams left in it, that'd be about the best they're going to get. They'd have to really turn up on their day.
I think it's not been. Obviously, they went down, started relatively well. They were up there, dropped a little bit since. I mean, I was going to say a day out at Wembley in the semi-finals. I mean, it's not going to be a day out at Wembley, but they're still going to. In my opinion, the question is, how will they get on in the cup? I think they will beat Southampton.
Yeah, I think they'll beat Southampton.
And I think they will be playing at Wembley in the semi-finals.
And then, but then that'll be it. I think they'll get turned over.
Yeah, I think they'll get done in the semi-finals. But you know, it's a day out at Wembley. The Cherry fans won't forget it. And then the other question is, where do you think they're finishing the league?
They're finishing the playoffs.
Guaranteed in the playoffs.
Oh, as he said, he did actually message me about this one this morning, so I did have a little look, and there's a gap from them to Cardiff in 7th, but there's also a gap to them in Reading in 5th. So they'd either need a really bad run of form to drop out and a really good run of form to get up to the automatics, because there's an 8-point gap.
Yeah, there's a big. I've seen that. There's a gap. Yeah.
So, and Brentford and Norwich just don't seem like a train that's stopping anytime soon.
No, I think playoffs. I mean, it depends where they finish in the playoffs, who they play. It depends how it
playoff positioning. Like, it's got a massive factor. If you finish 6th, you're at home in the first leg against a team who finished 3rd.
Yeah, and
you need to finish.
It's a big
competition.
I know. I mean, it's only a little. I don't know if you'd even call it a competition. It's only a small. It's only a small, like, little tournament, isn't it? But it's worth the most money, and it's like the biggest prize money
in football. Yeah,
in football. So,
well, it's purely down to the television rights and things like that, isn't it?
I would like to see him win the playoffs, and it would help him out as well, because it is a bit of money, isn't it? It's like 200 mil or something. I imagine that.
That's just like your base.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You'll get
minimum
more.
200 mil. You can't go wrong. I think they will. I'm going to say they'll win the playoffs.
I'm going to say they'll lose in the playoff final.
There you go. Right. And then the next question, pretty much tied into that, from Callum. Where can you see Bournemouth in the next 2 seasons? So go from that. I think Premier League. I think they'll win the playoffs, and bit of money behind them. Then more money from winning it, and they'll be back in the Prem for the next 2 seasons. But obviously yours is different because you think they'll lose.
I think they'll lose the playoffs. I think they'll get promoted automatically next season, whether they win it or not. And then I think they'll survive.
What, in the Prem? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, cheers for your questions, by the way. And then, this from Craig, is Thierry Henry, obviously been linked quite heavily, the right man for Bournemouth? Obviously, you know a lot more about Henry than I do as a player, but what can he bring?
Third best player that I've ever seen live.
Yeah, I know one of them.
Go on.
Is one of them Bergkamp?
Yeah.
And the other one's Hazard?
No.
It's not Hazard?
No.
I thought you said Hazard.
No.
Really?
Martin Smith.
Martin Smith?
Football genius.
I don't know who that is, mate.
Played for the Cobblers, mate.
Okay, fair enough.
Mate,
You did say Hazard was good though.
Hazard was very good. Hazard, I said it to you. That obviously, I went to watch Chelsea Tottenham in the semi-final a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And after the game, I turned around to him and said, "I now understand the hype around Hazard because he did just make things happen."
Yeah.
But Bergkamp was
Yeah.
next level.
Yeah. But going off sub.
Anyway, yeah, going off.
Getting
going
a little
off
bit excited.
I was getting a little bit excited. Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry.
I mean, who's he managed? He's managed in America.
Who was
It
he
was
managing?
Canada, wasn't it? It was Montreal Impact.
Montreal Impact, yeah.
Did
Just
he-
where
did he-
Drogba was, wasn't it?
Did he go to France as well? Maybe. Or
Yeah,
did
didn't he
want-
get the bullet from somewhere in France?
Yeah, I want to say Bordeaux.
He got the bullet in France,
Somewhere.
didn't he? But, so, obviously, the moral of the question is he the right man for Bournemouth to bring him up from one of the toughest leagues in the world, I think. Or in, definitely, yeah, in the world.
Do you want me to tell you something? I reckon he could be.
I think he could be.
But
I'm feeling it.
there's something that wouldn't have to stay the same.
What?
Harry would have to help him out.
Mm.
Harry knows that club inside out.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. But if you look at when Frank first took charge of Derby, he had no real experience.
Yeah,
Derby admittedly took him to the playoff finals and did lose to Villa. But to get to the playoff final in a league that's very hard to get out of, young manager, Henry, he's not one of the oldest people knocking about, is he?
Could be 40.
Henry, I would say yes. I'm there for
I'd go for
Henry.
Vieira over Henry, personally.
Would you? Why is that?
Vieira's got more success.
Yeah. No, I fancy Henry, but it'd be how quickly the Bournemouth fans want to come back to the Premier League. If they want to build something with Henry, then I think he would be the right man for the job. But it depends how quickly he want to come out of the Championship. But he might hit the ground running.
Might do.
You don't know, but I think yes. Anyway, I do. Yeah, I fancy it.
I'm undecided.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry, Craig.
Next question from Bronya. Originally, our question was, who do you think the most underrated Premier League players are? And I did write them down, but then she recently changed her question, and it's a bit of a hard one to explain. But it's, and I said to you earlier about it, didn't I, when I rang you? And it's who's the most underrated players, but doesn't necessarily get looked at because someone in their team is not carrying them, but he stands out. So
they've got a star player. So,
yeah.
So prime example would be Fernandes and McTominay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But like her example was, obviously she's a Villa fan, and she said obviously Grealish being the standout, the main man, and she said Matt Targett and John McGinn. But before she changed her question, I did put Matt Targett down as an underrated player of mine. I do quite like him. It's quite handy.
Mm.
But yeah, what you just said there, I think Bruno Fernandes is the main talk at United.
Very unprofessional, I apologise.
Honestly.
I'm just going to turn that onto airplane mode.
What? Yeah,
Carry on, I am
McTominay, yeah, gets goals here and there, does the dirty work. Quite like him. I don't know who else goes unnoticed, but there's a main man. Is there many main?
The thing is, it's unless you're a fan of a certain club, you don't see them people that are underrated because.
Unless they're really overhyped and they're spoken about a lot from like the likes of Sky.
But I don't go. Sorry, I'm really tired, Sabrina.
Mate, the unprofessionalism in the last 5 minutes has been
I
fucking
know it's
horrendous.
ridiculous. I only watch Chelsea because you have it on.
Yeah.
I only watch Arsenal because I have it on. I don't go out there and watch Spurs and I go, "Do you know that Tanganga, he's underrated, but that Sanchez gets."
But
all
you
the
know he's
credit."
underrated, and he's recently come in for Spurs, and recently been spoken a bit more. And Ndombele
Yes.
was a bit of a pony when he came.
Yeah,
to the
when he
Premier
first
League.
came, yeah.
And probably Sissoko, the pair of them, they're both donkeys.
Sissoko got unfair criticism
Yeah, he got a lot of shit.
because he did all right at Newcastle,
Yeah,
and then
he got a lot of shit when he went to Spurs. But yeah, Ndombele, and it's just the ones for me when you speak about like this sort of question. It probably is your midfielders more than anything. Really.
Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw, yeah,
He got a torrent of abuse.
yeah. Because I think for me personally, it's more the midfielders that don't get spoken about enough because you've got clean sheets and you've got
Goals.
normally and you've got goals. So you've got the midfielders either doing the dirty work or pulling the strings. So yeah, there is a few, but I'm pretty content with that question. It's a good question, but before she changed the question, underrated players I wrote down. I only wrote 4 down, and one of them was Matt Target. I also put, who's being spoken about a lot more, and I know you like him, Pedro Neto.
Mm-hmm.
Did put Pedro Neto down. I put, and this is what I mean by like the dirty work in midfield. I did put Ndidi down.
Wilfred
Ndidi does the job. Sits in front, number 6, sits in front of the defence, dirty. And then is it Raphinha for Leeds or Raphinha? I'm absolutely butchering his name.
Raphinha.
Yeah, quite like him. Bit of flair about him.
Bit of flair, winger.
Does the job, like him. So
how many more questions we got left?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Might be a bit longer than the first episode.
Yeah. Straight to the next question. I told you about this one earlier. This is from Ryan, good mate from Chelsea. Pep Guardiola or Jose Mourinho?
Yes, you did tell me about this and we discussed it. Now,
it's hard.
15 years ago,
I don't know.
Jose was the better manager, but I still think Jose is stuck possibly 10 years ago in time.
Yeah,
I don't really think he's evolved after that treble at Inter Milan.
But I'll put it this way, I know he's not. I know City have got the money and they've got the players, so Guardiola's in a lovely position to beat him, and Jose's at Spurs. But I don't think. I know it's silly for me to say. Mourinho won't win another Premier League.
No, but he's got 3. So
he's got
respect.
That's what I mean. He's got 3. That's the trouble. But Guardiola's also got 2.
We'll have 3.
We'll have 3. So Jose or Guardiola, I'm going Pep Guardiola every day of the week. Just a bit of a serial winner, isn't he? I know that a few people say about Guardiola is he just manages the best teams, but there's a reason he's managing the best teams, because he's the best manager. So both saying Guardiola. Guardiola. This is from Owen.
Owen T.
No.
Oh.
This is easy for me, and I will probably have different answers. Favourite Champions League moment of all time?
Favourite Champions League moment of all time?
Yeah.
We probably will have different, because yours has got to be Drogba in the penalty.
Mine's very obvious. Although the goal for me, again, I mean, it's not my favourite, but my favourite was obviously Drogba tucking it bottom left hand corner. But mentions would be Ramirez chip in the Nou Camp against Valdez, and Ivanovic at home to Napoli.
Yeah.
And the Drogba header as well. Like me and Dad always say, it's a bullet header.
It's a bullet.
It's an absolute, and it doesn't get spoken about enough.
Gives Neuer
it's a
no
fucking
chance.
Bullet.
That's 9 years ago.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah.
You were only 13.
No, yeah. But that's mine. But obviously, Chelsea winning the Champions League, it's obvious for me. So
moments,
you
know, like no team I support has ever won it. So for me, there's a damn volley against Leverkusen in the final of 2002.
Yeah.
If you've not seen it, YouTube, it's a great goal. Bale's overhead kick.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo's overhead kick in the same year.
Yeah.
That's my.
So nothing for Arsenal. I know it sounds like I'm taking the piss, but
what have they fucking done?
No.
Perhaps that Thierry Henry goal against Real Madrid where he took the pit, like ran.
Yeah, I know the goal. Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think we've covered that question quite nicely.
Yeah.
There's not a lot for me to say there. Mine's pretty obvious. Next question is from Jake. Will Manchester City be domestically dominant for the next decade?
Why they've still got the funding?
Why they've got the funding? Why they've got the manager?
Then
again,
I was going to say, I don't think the manager really means.
Well, no, I think he does. He does.
He does, but imagine Sharm el Sheikh, whatever his name is.
Sharm el Sheikh?
I know that's in Egypt. What's he called?
What are you on about?
The owners at Man City.
I don't know what they're called, mate. But I don't think it's Sharm el Sheikh.
No, it's not Sharm el Sheikh. That's a place in Egypt.
Okay, we know what you're saying there. The owners of Man City.
Say if they come up to you and they go, right, here's an open checkbook, you've got 400 million quid, go and buy who you want.
Yeah.
You can make a team from that.
Yeah.
I'd go, right, I'd make a deal, I'd buy a team and I'll keep the change.
Yeah.
Getting a load of Premier League players for 400 million, you got 100 million to yourself.
But domestically...
Yes.
Yeah, every day is every day.
Yes. Nobody can keep up with them spending money wise.
It's just the thing. If it weren't to do with money, then absolutely not. But obviously they've got the players now. they will have more money. Do I see anyone matching them in terms of, like, if you talk about owners? Obviously Abramovich has got a lot of money. We have forked out in the summer. We're not going to be up there this year. Probably don't think next year.
You tell me the last team that dominated domestic football without money.
United?
Really?
I'd say so.
You reckon?
Oh, Leicester.
They didn't dominate. They didn't dominate.
But they did the business. Then again, no one fancied the league that year.
No.
Well,
not one team in particular didn't fancy it. I don't know, but I don't think United really, because they had the class in '92, but they still had to buy players to fit in
but
with
it's not the money it is now, though, is it?
No, but that's adjusted for inflation.
Yeah. Why who do you think?
I'm saying, I'm asking a question. I ain't got
I
an answer.
thought you had an answer. Like, you're thinking of someone in mind that's absolutely took the piss.
Forest, mate. Well, no, even Forest. They spent the first £1 million on probably Liverpool. They didn't, from memory, that I wasn't actually born, but in the 80s and the 70s, they didn't strike out as signing loads of players.
That's the trouble. That's what's changed. It is money now.
Yeah,
it's business now.
It is a business.
It's business. So, and as long as City have got that money there, I mean, even if they haven't, right? Say, I mean, Chelsea are a good example. We've signed X amount of players. We're still nowhere near. I mean, granted, they got a gel together, whatever, all that bollocks. But City, with the squad they've actually got now, for me, they don't even have to spend that much money. Their squad is still class.
It's more about just bringing through fresh faces.
Yeah, exactly. So, in my opinion, next decade, City taking the piss every day.
They'll win at least. I see this as dominance, though. They'll win at least 4 Premier League titles.
I was about to say, I can agree with 4.
They'll win 4 or 5 FA Cups.
Who wins the other 6?
Arsenal.
Fucking hell. Next question.
In a row.
Next question. This is probably. I mean, you could answer this, but it's probably more for me. But it says, who's had the best season for Chelsea so far? I know.
Thiago Silva.
Yeah, see, I'm stuck between.
Or Mason Mount.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I'm stuck in between Thiago Silva and Mason Mount. I don't know. Yeah,
they are related.
They are related, but I mean, you know how much I love Mason Mount. He's a fucking boy.
Thiago Silva or Mason Mount.
The mop, absolutely mop things up. Like when the kitchen gets dirty over there, I'd love to have Thiago Silva just to fucking mop the place up. Because honestly, Thiago Silva or Mason Mount, couldn't really pick one.
I'd say Jorginho's had a good year.
Jorginho, he just does his business, keeps him like he's not like the other night we said about it on the last episode. Didn't realise he was playing, really, but that's a good thing, like we said. But for me, Mason Mount or Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
Every day of the week, I think. We can both answer this one as well. This is from Tom. Thoughts on Kai Havertz?
So, no, come on, give your honest answer this time.
Me and Kai Havertz, I don't know, we don't get along too well. I have given him a lot of shit when watching him. Right
away back to Brighton, first game of the season.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but I know.
I've given him a lot of shit, and it's not because it's just more frustrating because you know what they can do, these type of players. And I think, in my opinion, I think he has been shit, and just hasn't quite hit the ground running. That's I think. And I know that like a few Sky pundits said it, that like moving over at his age, in a global pandemic, it probably is difficult, and he hasn't quite hit the ground running. But I am looking forward to him to getting a run of Premier League games and Champions League games, not playing against fucking Barnsley and whatever. Morecambe. Like, I'm looking forward to him to having a good run of games for Thomas Tuchel and see how he gets on. And I'd love to see that, like they do for Germany, Werner and Havertz. I'd just love to see him fucking blossom. Into something beautiful. Yeah.
I think you've got to give him time.
But Kai Havertz, he's got to have time. He's only a youngster. You've got to give him
21?
time. Yeah, I don't know, but he's got to give him time. But he has, I will be honest, he's had a lot of shit from me. And he has, hasn't he? A lot of shit.
I'm wondering if you're going to say the name that you used.
He's an absolute fraud.
Yeah, that is the word he uses. He always calls him a fraud.
I do call him the fraud, but I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one for me and Kai Havertz. It's a love-hate relationship, but it'll come good. I've got faith. I
always said that about Ozil, so don't keep your hopes up.
No, don't say that. Right, next question. This is from a bloke I work with. Coops.
Coops.
Literally spoke to him about 1:30. Spoke to him about this.
Oh right. What time is it now?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Spoke
Right.
to him about this about 1:30. He said, I think you can do this as well because there is a few Chelsea related questions. That's the thing. But he said, my best Chelsea 11 right now. So, can you do that?
No.
We can do the keeper. Who you having in goal?
Mendy.
Over Kepa.
Yeah.
See, for me, they both have their moments, and
I mean, we could. Let's be honest. Your best Chelsea 11 right now. We could nail this right. Forget the keepers. Reece James, Thiago Silva. Who you have in the other centre back? Christensen. Zuma. Left back Chilwell.
Yeah, but is it? You jump into a head, mate.
No.
If we're talking 5 at the back, it's Marcos Alonso.
Yeah, but we're not. We're talking 4 at the back. We're going 4-3-3.
Go on then.
Holding midfield.
You think Mendy in goal?
Yeah.
I think he's a fucking donkey.
And then Kante holding.
On his day.
Kovacic, Mount in the middle.
That was my 3 in midfield.
Right wing. I'm going
on their day. I'm
going to question the best Chelsea 11 you can have right now.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, that's what the question is, isn't it?
Yeah, but I also think on their day.
I'm saying right now. Like, if you
so right wing, you're going to Nadoi?
Yeah.
Striker?
Werner.
Left wing?
Undecided.
Exactly, because have you thought about Pulisic?
No.
Good, because he's been wank lately, but...
In fact, I put Werner on the left wing.
Who's at front? Tammy's great.
Tammy. Giroud.
Tammy.
Me.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm undecided on the best of them because new manager, he changes formation. Certain players are playing, certain players aren't playing, but we're going to win the Champions League. Watch this space. This one, Faisal. How well do you think Tuchel is doing so far?
Again, he just needs time.
Needs time.
I mean, yeah, instant impact. He's not lost the game. I think he's only drawn 1, hasn't he? He's won the rest.
He drew his first one against Wolves.
So, sort of
conceded 1 goal.
With the chairman that you've got, that's perfect. But
he'll be pleased with it.
Can he maintain it? That's the question.
Yeah, it's very, very, very early days. Early doors.
Great pub. Greg, if you're watching.
But yeah, very early. Got on playing nice stuff, although it can still be frustrating to watch. I do still get. I don't know if that's just me, but I do still get frustrated watching them because it's a lot of passing, not much happening. But a lot of teams come to Chelsea, or we go away, even away from home, they'll set up with 10 men behind the ball, and we don't always break them down straight away. So it can get frustrating.
The way to be in with any chance of winning trophies or top 4, whatever you want to do, you've got to average 2 points a game at least.
Yeah.
So you've got to go to an away game. You got to win all your home games, and you got to go and get at least a point away from home.
Yeah.
But sometimes away from home, at places like Wolves, you have got to settle for a point.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But
I'd think you'd more settle for a point at Wolves and go for it at City and maybe lose 1-0.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to get that chance with a team like City.
Yeah.
Whereas with Wolves, they're quite happy to sit in as well. So,
in terms of the question, me personally, I'm quite pleased.
If I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be content with it.
Because I was gutted when Frank went. Although results weren't necessarily going our way. Although back in November was it? We were top of the league, not for long, but we were doing quite well. And then a couple of months later, he's got the bullet. And I know he's a legend. That's what everyone says. Oh, it's just because he's a club legend. It's not. You got to give these young managers time, like we did say last week's episode. But in terms of Tuchel, I am relatively pleased. Like, I weren't too fond of him coming in, I've got to be honest. I was a bit like, what's he really done? He's managing the Farmers League, it's boring. But he has done the job, and sometimes you have just got to say, do you know what, fair play, he's doing really well. Conceded 1 goal, like I said. Was Antonio Rudiger. Hence why he weren't in my starting 11. But and I'm just looking forward to next Tuesday when we play Atletico Madrid away from home. I'm looking forward to that because I want to see how he sets up and see what we're like. But so far so good, and I am pleased, and I hope the owner does stick with him now he's in charge and see how we get on. But I'm relatively pleased. And then this is the last question.
The last question.
Last question. And it's one that everyone's, I'm sure, spoken about. Everyone's got their opinions on it. It's from Dylan Barrett, legend.
No idea who that is.
It's fine. Is VAR used correctly?
No.
Why?
Because when it was originally brought in, it was brought in for clear and obvious errors.
Yeah.
And it's now being used on every goal. Well, is he offside? And they're getting the lines out, and the lines are like, you can't even see it probably. They're that far apart. It's like, it's not a clear and obvious error. The linesman can't see that with the naked eye. That's why you've had to get the technology out.
Yeah.
It's only for clear and obvious errors.
Yeah, no, I have to. Yeah, it's not used correctly.
It's not used correctly.
And maybe at the start you could argue it was used correctly, but now it's just taken such a massive turn.
No, when it was brought in, that's what it was brought in for. But it's not being used correctly. It's not being used correctly in this league.
Yeah, but now no one's got a fucking clue what's going on.
Well,
no one. You get all these fancy fucking lines out. No one's got a clue. No one knows what the rules are.
No.
What's the handball rule? What's the offside rule? Is an armpit, a fucking finger, your cock? What is offside? It's fucking pathetic.
It ruined it for.
It's shit.
So I went to a couple of Premier League games last year, and it ruined it because goal scored, and it's there's a VAR check, and you can't celebrate.
Exactly.
You can't celebrate.
That's the thing. It's like if I go to a pub to watch a game, now there's VAR in. If Chelsea score a goal, I won't celebrate in a pub because you're in front of people. If you celebrate and then it gets disallowed, and I have done it
you look like
quite a few times, I have done it in a pub, and you look like a fucking idiot. So it just ruins things. It has ruined things, and no one knows what they're doing. The referees don't know what they're doing. For me, but then the trouble is, it does get things right. It slows things down. It does ruin a goal or whatever.
It does get things right, but like, if a player's 2 or 3 yards offside and it's not given, use it. That's fair enough. But if a player's offside by their fucking armpit,
yeah,
you can't give it. I know it's not. It's not. It shouldn't be allowed. But the fact is, we've gone 130 years of football without the use of technology.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got by right because it's still going after 130 years.
Exactly. But that's
it turns me off watching Premier League games.
But that's the thing. That's what I was going to say. You can look at it as in it does get certain things right, and you're like, do you know what? Fair play. But at the same time, if it wasn't in the game, and you look back, because we have nowadays you have got the angles of offsides, handballs. Like we do get to see it at games. It's on the TV, right? If something was absolutely miles offside, the linesman hasn't seen it, but there's no VAR, and it's against your team, you're going to be pissed off at now if they score. So you can look at it in two ways, but in my opinion, it's not used correctly. I genuinely still don't know what the rules are, really.
I don't think
these fancy rules, VAR, what it does, up in Stockley Park. I think they need to fucking blow Stockley Park up.
No, it's a nice place.
I don't care. It's where VAR is. I don't
it's a
give a
nice
fuck.
place.
But yeah,
just move the VAR to where the game is.
Yeah, exactly.
What game was it the other day? They had VAR in it. Might have even been your game. And they was showing different angles and stuff. We only need this one. That's it.
Yeah, it's gone.
The TV cameras have got better views than what the VAR have.
They try to overcomplicate it, I think. And I'll tell you what is bollocks. And we spoke about it, and I think Dad mentioned it as well. It was not having it at certain grounds in cup competitions.
You can only use it at Premier League grounds.
But when it's televised, they show us on the telly anyway.
Yeah.
So what's stopping the referee? Just someone that's got it in the fucking background. Like, I mean, in the changing room. What's stopping them from going and having a look and seeing what we see on the TV?
That's it, mate.
But I think it frustrates a lot of people. I think it's shit. You think it's shit?
I think if it's used correctly, it could be brilliant, but it's not used correctly.
So that is the question. Is it used correctly?
No.
No. But anyway, we're going to probably end it there.
Yeah, because we've been going an hour.
We're going an hour. It's about right. Hopefully, if you're still here, you've just watched us rant about VAR, then thank you very much. Thank you all for your questions as well. I probably will do that again in the future because there's so much you can talk about, and I will do like some more polls and stuff and ask me questions. Even if I don't do anything on my social media, just ask me questions anyway.
Leave them on the videos.
On the video,
we look at all the videos. We see how many views we got and whatnot.
Exactly. So if you are watching this and you have, because I know a lot of people haven't got a YouTube account to subscribe, which is fair enough.
Just create one.
If you have got one, then press subscribe. Don't cost anything. And it's fair. I mean, I know it's not.
You
a lot.
can, even if you haven't got an account, you can still like the video. That always helps.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. By any means, I think we got like 20 plus likes on the last one. Not a lot at all.
No,
in the grand scheme of things.
But we're really happy with how it's gone for the first video.
I was pleased with that, and I mean, I don't know if you got any, but I actually got genuinely like 10 to 15 messages saying it was class and it was alright. So, and I enjoyed it as well. That's why I was so eager. I got all these questions in, and I was so eager to do one today. Hopefully, it should be uploaded today as well. But yeah, thanks for your questions.
I think, so what we do for the next episode is we're going to record it on Monday evening, once we're both home from work. So we won't have the Brighton Palace game in that video.
No one's asked.
But we've got to remember to do Leeds tonight, Leeds Wolves tonight.
Yeah. There's a Friday night.
So that'll be in on Tuesday.
Yeah, so we'll do tonight's games. Well, tonight's game.
The weekend.
Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll do predictions for Champions League Tuesday, Wednesday, and Europa League second leg Thursday.
Yeah.
So it'll just be that basically. It should be roughly about an hour or so as well. So yeah, do appreciate it. And if you are watching, thank you for watching. And yeah, let us know what you think again. Give me a message, give Joe a message, and yeah, appreciate it.
And the shirts will be changed on Tuesday.
Yeah, shirts. Up the chairs. Cheers.